Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this will be a follow-up on two subjects. First is Game Explain controversy. So I did a video about it, giving my thoughts. Of course, finally Andre Seeger made a response, and there's more hubba booba blah 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 statement from him, and it's unfortunate. It's not so good. And then the second one is my thoughts closure on the Cyberpunk 2077 controversy. And a lot of things happen, and I'm just gonna closure on this video because I'm not really a fan of the game, but the story behind it was kind of interesting. So I know drama, shame on me, but it is what it is. So first, my thoughts, a follow up on the Game Explain controversy. So for people who don't know what it is that former people who work at Game Explain state that working there wasn't so good as it's supposed to be. There was more than meets the eye, and one of the member reviewed Final Fantasy VII ReMake within only 2 days, and they said, well, that's not good, and then they're getting underpaid, overworked. And of course, not a lot of people, including myself, are not supporting Game Explained because I don't agree what's happening there. So Andre Seeger finally made a statement on Twitter, and of course there was a lot of condition what's happening there. First of all, you can't just reply on his Twitter. He put it on private. I said only certain people who he mentioned is allowed to reply. So a bit of a cowardness there, Andre. Shame on you. But the statement he said, well, unfortunately, Nintendo Prime and Omni already kind of gave their opinion about it. I'm going to put the links on the description box. But yeah, also I said, yeah, as expected, it was a lawyer type architect. So it is just lawyer talk there. So instead of trying to explain inside of the story as a friend, as something he has a passion with video game or game explain, it's more like, well, this is a business. I got to put food on the table. So I got a lawyer up. So like Nintendo Prime said, it was, yeah, as expected. He's trying to protect his business. That is his life career. So without getting explained, what's he going to do? Work at Costco, Target, whatever, a 9 to 5 corporate job, who knows? But the bottom line is, yeah, the statement, it is a bunch of lawyer talk there. And what Omni and Nintendo Prime said, I can agree with it. It is unfortunate that he has to go there. And then one person that worked for Game Explain as of right now by the name of Joey, and apparently Nintendo Prime knows this person, trying to defend Andre. Yeah, my theory, kind of like most people were saying, I agree, is that probably Andre, after all of this controversy, probably trying to make it better to some extent, to change. That's really it. So he's trying to improve it. So maybe he's changing, he's trying to make it better because he learned, okay, this is not good. Okay, I got to change the image, the business, etc., etc., etc. Again, it is what it is. Maybe he's also just being paid to defend him, which sometimes that can happen. There have been times in Java I knew people that they were even told to, hey, can you write like a fake good review about our company? You do what it takes to keep your business alive. Darwinism, whether you like it or not, sometimes people have to implement that. But then more people were saying that that's not really the truth. There have been a lot of more controversy, even on the Discord. Apparently there was a lot of problems there. And to some extent, when people need guidance from Andre, he's not there to help them. So again, it is what it is. It's unfortunate. And Andre, shame on you. That statement you said, again, people wanted a statement from your heart. It's just, hey, what happened? What's going on? Nope, you decided to lawyer up. You decided to go to a business route, protect your asset, protect your ass, protect Game Explain as a business, because I understand that's your baby. And you lawyered up. And you had a lawyer statement rather than from your heart. It's kind of shame on you there. It's really shame. So, yeah, that's my final thoughts on Game Explain. It is kind of pathetic, but it is what it is there. All right, before I move on, my thoughts on Cyberpunk 2077, the aftermath event of what's going on. I want to add more that's happening with the controversy with the Game Explain, and apparently more is happening. And oh boy, so Vice made an article about it, and apparently Steve, who reviewed Final Fantasy VII Remake, and he only has 2 days to do it, told a story that it was just even worse than what it is, and apparently there was even a point that Mentally, it was very exhausting to a point that he's doing whatever it takes just to keep awake to review the game. And let's just say it just wasn't that good. And I don't know what Andre was thinking about that. Like, realistically, that's impossible, especially it's a big JRPG. But again, kind of sucks what's happening there. After Andre did his quote unquote, his legal statement, because it was sort of a lawyer architect statement, he actually did another one, a much better one to some extent. A lot of people said that even Nintendo Prime sort of, but it's better than the lawyer setup for this one. Is that he did on a Twitter long and he explained everything of what's going on. And of course, in the end, he did sort of apologize, saying that, yeah, he messed up and that he's trying to do better. Kind of makes sense that he probably is going to do better. But then there have been a lot of like hidden messages, like what's going on here. And one of them is that on the message itself, the statement, he never really mentioned the name Ash, Derek, and Steve. I don't know, maybe there's some sort of animosity actually more than meets the eye. No one knows. And he explained that, well, they weren't really full-time. They were contractors. So again, going to a work politics, which is, you already kind of messed them up, and you're going to a work politic by saying, oh, they're just contractors, so they don't follow the same rule as a full-time. Again, whatever. It is what it is there. And then in the end, he just said, I'll just do better with the new team, hopefully. And Nintendo Prime, again, didn't respond, and it's always spot on. So I'm going to link his videos. Like, it's like a multi-part video about Gamexplain. He was spot on about it. Got to give him credit for it. And I agree what he said in the end, that Andre, even so that statement is much better than the previous one, he really should put it on YouTube, like what Nintendo Prime said, because then more people will know, okay, we get it, you screwed up, we don't know why you did that, and hopefully for the best, you do better in the long run. So, of course, why did he do that? What's wrong with him? Was he thinking logistically? What was wrong? Is it just pure business? Do you know how to handle the business or not? There's a lot of factors probably behind it. He did say that he is learning and running a business wasn't easy peasy. In that part, I sort of can understand where it's coming from, because let's just say, for me personally, I do work on a job that the people had basic knowledge of running a business, but they want to be their own bosses. And for a while in the beginning, from what I heard stories, is that they were learning. So I understand that part. Second is trying to maintain a business, trying to pay their people. Again, he's saying that it's not that easy, managing time, not that easy, because you're doing this and you're doing that. I get it, but you can't leave it to a point that it's going to screw someone, because even my personal experience, I kind of did that at one point. Like, I let something go I shouldn't have, and it got worse in the business. Managed to fix it, but the damage has already been done. There's a lot of effect that happened. I just say people had to help me fix the problem, and that took away their time. Probably my guess is here's the thing: what happened, why Ande did this X, Y, and Z. One is probably the knowledge he got from IGN. He probably integrated it. He thought it was good. It was something that he knew. Second, he thought managing a business was easy peasy, realizing in the long run it was getting harder. So he's trying to maintain it, including communication. And then after a while, when he saw it from the outside, he said, yeah, I kind of screwed up. So again, there you go. So bottom line is that Andre screwed up big time. It's going to be a long way for him to redeem himself. A lot of people are already forgiving him. Some people still kind of said, no, you can't be forgiven for that one. Again, you make your own decision. I said before in my previous video that, hey, look, if you really don't want to support Gamexplain, be critical about it. Show that you unsubscribe to them. Don't support their Patreon. Don't support them on Twitter, social media. And then just move on. Just leave him be. He already screwed up. He probably felt bad about it. Hopefully in the long run, he will learn. But if he doesn't, then Andre, shame on you. And another thing before I close it is like, how could he get away with it? Isn't that illegal? Well, here's a lot of factors again. First of all, is Gamexplain a business? Well, it is a business according to Andre. Second, is it a public or private business? Chances are It's a private business. So what it means is, and I'm gonna guess, because of the contractor rule and stuff, it's a private business to some extent. So public business is you have to follow certain rules. So of course, an employee can only work no more than 40 hours a week, and the minimum wage is $12. Or I don't know what the new. I'm just gonna say. I'm just gonna guess here. Correct me if I'm wrong on the comment, but I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna guess $12 per hour. So the rule for a full-time employee must be 8 hours. That's why 9 to 5, 40 hours a week, and the minimum wage is $12. That's basically one of the basic rule of a public business. When you make that a private business, then you don't have to follow those rules. Again, unethical but not illegal. Let's just say I had a job that it was full commish and we only get paid sell and the hours are more than 40 hours, and I said, isn't that illegal? And the person said, well, we're a private business, so take it or leave it. Again, it is what it is, and that's why Steve Wife said, just leave it, just leave Gamexplain. So that's what a private business is, that they don't have to follow the common architect of a business. They can do their own rule. However, I think the trade-off, I could be wrong, is business loan. If you're a private business, then you can't get business loan because, again, you're not following the rules. You're doing your own rule. Public business is you have to do the minimum requirement. 40 hours, you got to pay them at least the minimum wage. And then if you have a problem with the business, then you can ask for a business loan rather than a personal loan. Different thing there. So my guess is that Gamexplain is a private business. It's a private company because there's no shareholder supporting them. I mean, obvious. It's an internet organization, and it's a private business because it doesn't have to follow a common architect to some extent. And granted that he did say that they were contractors, so it is a different rule there. And from what I heard, one of the new member is a full-time, so probably that person is actually doing 9 to 5 and getting paid the minimum wage. That's just my guess. John Cartwright, working in Nintendo Life, he stated that yes, he's working 9 to 5 hours and he's getting paid hourly. So again, I don't know what it is, but that my guess is could be to some extent it might be a private business. Again, I could be wrong because now I heard that they do have more full time in that place as of right now. So there you go. I mean, hope for the best for Andre. For me personally, don't take it personal. I'm in the side of, yeah, you did wrong. You did those people wrong. I can't support that situation unless you do better, and hopefully he does. So as of right now, I'm not supporting them. I'm not subscribed to them. And of course, in social media, I don't follow them. And I just let people know, hey, Andre kind of did this. Make your own decision whether it's a good guy or not. So there you go. I want to give my quick thoughts about another follow-up for the Cyberpunk 2077. And oh boy, I really kind of felt sorry for the developer for this game. And of course, the gist of it, people already talked about it, is that Sony, as of right now, issued a statement about the game. So if people bought it digitally on the PlayStation Store, you actually able to get a refund. So that's a good thing, a refund for the game. Not only that, they actually delisted the game on their store as of right now until, well, the game gets fixed in the long run. Because, the game right now, it's buggy, but if you play it on the base PS4 or base Xbox One, sadly, the game becomes unplayable from what I heard. So Sony, surprisingly, taking a further step for the situation, because again, the downside about the refund. So before I said that Cyberpunk was saying, oh yeah, the CDProjekt Red, they say, oh, you can get a refund from them, but apparently they just told them, yeah, if you don't like the game, just get a refund and hope for the best that they'll refund your game. And Sony was like, no, what are you talking about? Well, we don't have any discussion with CDProjekt Red, so it does with Xbox or in any retail store. And apparently in a emergency meeting, they said, yeah, well, we did mention the refund, but consumer has to keep in mind that, hey, guess what? It's up to the retailer or the store or PlayStation or Microsoft to deal with the refund. Of course, that didn't do good. So, but then Sony right now stepping up and saying, yeah, we're going to refund your game, cut our losses, and we're going to delist this game. So hopefully, to some extent, Microsoft does the same thing, Steam, and I would be really surprised. Stadia, or even bigger, GOG would say, yeah, you know what, this game's unplayable. People will not buy this game anymore, and they're going to say, we're going to hold it off. Heck, even retailer, Target, Walmart, GameSpot, GameStop, Best Buy, etc., 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 they'll say, yeah, we're not going to sell this game because as of right now, nobody's going to buy this game to some extent. So I wouldn't be surprised if CD Projekt Red, when push comes to shove, they said, you know what, we have to do a recall on this game. This is not working. People's not going to buy it. We screwed up. The upper management were just a bunch of dumbass, and there you go. So, quick thoughts. The thing is, surprisingly, Sony stepping up. Hopefully, other company will follow suit. So not only that, there are even more that's happening with Cyberpunk 27 and CDProjekt Red. One is that apparently there's now report that the shareholders are now considered filing lawsuit for mistrust, misinform, fooling the customer, just lie to everyone about the game. And like I said, even right now, like Sony removed it. As for the Xbox game, GOG, and I think Stadia as well, they're still up. Yeah, somebody from Microsoft said, yeah, we're honoring the refund, but the game's going to be up. So it's up to you whether you want to buy it or not. So again, it is your choice. You don't have to buy the game. Same goes with Stadia and PC, and of course, GOG, good old game. But again, it is what it is there. But then the biggest one here, that's what's happening now, is that the founder of CDProjekt Red made a statement apologizing, said, yeah, they screwed up. And I'm going to try to summarize what it is. So, first of all, they said it got too ambitious. They were focused on the PC first, and then they were working secondary on the console. Didn't see the difference between the console version and the PC, so they kind of screwed that up. And the reason why they gave only PC footage for the reviewers, because apparently they said that they were so proud with the PC version, they wanted to show that. Wasn't a good idea. And then they're saying also they admitted that if you're going to blame someone, blame the higher ups, blame the founder, which is good because the developers actually did say that, what was wrong with you? Why did you do this? And what's the decision? And yeah, so a lot of people, Angry Joe, Yongye, a lot of people, even Dreamcast said, don't blame the developer, blame the higher ups that said, we want this out, I guess, either to make Christmas money, sales, or whatever. It was kind of weird. I mean, should have just delayed the game in the long run, but it is what it is. Now they said right now they're going to focus more on the game, fixing the game, than providing more content. And so the first part is that they are going to try to fix the game. And that apparently this is going to be a long way from fixing until even heck 2022. There's also now new content, sort of including the multiplayer. They said that's going to be somewhere in the summer. And then the new upgrade for the PS5 and Series XS is not even going to be coming out until, well, fall of 2021, heck, even 2022, who knows. But yeah, right now it's that they're spending most of their time fixing the game. And again, here's what it is. They did it upon themselves. They screwed up that they shouldn't have done it. But again, either they wanted to sell, they wanted to capitalize on the game, but they got too ambitious, and this is what happened. So, like, I agree, a lot of people said they should have been delayed to 2021. Focus first on the PC and then do the console in the long run. But no, what they did was last gen console and then PC at the same time. That didn't work, and look what happened out there. So there you go. It is unfortunate. Hopefully they can redeem, but a lot of people are now saying that CDProjekt Red, that they ruined reputation. They were supposed to be for the people, now not anymore, and it is what it is. So the recap on that one is, right now they're spending most of their time fixing the game. The content is going to be secondary, and upgrade and the current gen PS5 Series XS not even going to be coming out until late 2021 or even 2022. Again, it is what it is. It sucked, but lesson learned. So yeah, those are my follow-up thoughts on Gamexplain. Andre's statement, basically it's a lawyer talk. Shame on him. And CDProjekt Red just trying to redeem themselves. It's going to be a long way. Yeah, like I said, most of the time they're going to probably spending most of their time and work this year just to fix the game rather than, oh, let's do something new, improve the game, or even add new content. But, it is what it is. They did it upon themselves. Should have take no, delay the game, whatever. So with that, I'll see you guys later.